Welcome back to another episode. I'm your host, Asante, Mr. Pick Six Samuel, two-time Super Bowl champion, Pro Bowler, All-Pro, record-breaking cornerback, and 50 interceptions in 10 seasons. Welcome back to another edition of Say What Needs to Be Said. Wednesday night vibes, baby. Turn up, baby. How y'all doing out there? Make sure y'all check in. Oh, shout out to the chat, man. To Marcus Batley in the building. Sky Edition in the building. Sky Edition, man. What's up, man? Why you so hard on me? You know I got the ride on Shannon Sharpe. We got to give him the business because he didn't give me my just due. You understand what I'm saying? When you when you want to talk shit with Mr. Pick Six, you got to be ready to go and ready to ride this thing out. You understand what I'm saying? So, man, shout out to the chat, man. Y'all come on in, man. We got a little fun night. A night to have some fun and talk about. I haven't been on for a couple of days. Been grinding, Memorial Day has been happening. I got to get ready to take these kids to college and a few other things. But I have some awesome, man, let me tell you, I have some awesome news for you guys, man. Let me tell you, the news that y'all would not even believe. Let me tell you, what I'm going to tell y'all is going to blow y'all mind. You guys thought this would never happen. Let me tell you, I'm telling you. So I'm not going to break the news until the end of this show. So y'all stay around because I'm telling you, man, the news that I'm going to tell y'all is so explosive. It's so exciting. And y'all, man, my day ones, y'all going to be very happy. Say what needs to be said, nation, man. We made it. We are here. So salute to everybody out in the audience out there in the chat. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. Quay33 say, bro, where you been? Man, the weekend got a hold up to me a little bit. Man, I had to grind it out with the family, cook some food, have a little fun Memorial Day. But, man, I had a lot of things to talk about. Sorry I couldn't get to the camera, but I'm here now, man. Like I said, tonight we're going to talk about Shannon Sharpe, old granddaddy We're going to get into a little Shedeur Sanders, but we're going to flip the script on Shedeur Sanders, and we got to spice things up because it's getting a little out of control with Shedeur Sanders. And we're going to talk about Travis Hunter and give him his congrats and see what we think about marriage and men getting married and how should we go about these things when we do such a thing. So Wednesday night vibe, say what needs to be said. I'm your host, Asante, Mr. Pick Six Samuel. Make sure y'all stay to the end because, like I said, I have some breaking, explosive, crazy news that y'all wouldn't even imagine. So we're going to have a little fun tonight. But, man, Shannon Sharpe, man, what's going on? Seems like when it rains, it pours, right? More bad news for old granddaddy Shannon Sharpe. After allegations surrounding him continues to plague on the brother's business, man. Blow after blow, right? Shannon Sharpe is receiving blow after blow, right? Shannon Sharpe announced on his podcast that they've decided to postpone the Nightcap tour and look forward to seeing his audience in the summer of 2026. He says it's going to be even bigger, even better. But Ocho and I have come to the conclusion that this isn't the best thing right now. So they had to postpone the tour, right? Now, let's get into this about postponing the tour, right? Why do people postpone tours? Because of obvious allegations and bad publicity and things like that. But the most common known reason to cancel a tour is typically when a tour is canceled, it's because of the ticket sales. Now, if those ticket sales was booming and it was through the roof, I'm sure this tour wouldn't have canceled, right? You know what I mean? The ticket sales determines how much revenue the show will be pulling in, along with sponsorships, and the things they have, the sponsors, whoever's putting the tour together. And I've seen, man, this thing was being presented by Live Nation. That's big time. So clap it up for Shannon Sharpe and the Nightcap. Man, they had a tour, man. Not too many people have a tour going on, and they had like an 8-city tour. So that was a big deal. But in the meantime, all this bad business and all this bad publicity going on that the Nightcap is taking Ocho Cinco along with him. Where the hell is Ocho Cinco's apology? We still haven't heard an apology to Ocho Cinco. Yes, Yes, we haven't heard an apology. It's time for Ocho Cinco to get an apology. And I understand Ocho Cinco is a lawyer guy, and he had Shannon Sharpe back all the way probably to the end. But the way Shannon Sharpe belittled Ocho Cinco on camera wasn't called for. And Ocho Cinco is one of the best partners to have, a co-host, friend, anything like that. Because I'm sure he's going to have Shannon Sharpe back. Shannon Sharpe gave him an opportunity, and it's a big deal. But I still think it's only right for Shannon Sharpe to give Ocho Cinco a public apology. Because when you can give it, you should be able to take it. But then again, here we are. Shannon Sharpe probably feels like he doesn't owe Ocho Cinco a public apology. A public apology, right? And this is the perfect example of what I be talking about with Shannon Sharpe. This is evidence of how he feels superior when he's in his environment. And Ocho finally found the perfect lane for him. You know what I mean? This is a perfect lane. This is a perfect lane for Shannon Sharpe and Ocho Cinco, right? Particularly Ocho Cinco. And now he has to deal with all this BS, of course. Of course, that old Aunt Shannon Sharpe is causing because of all these allegations and the BS and mess and all these things that's going on. You know what I mean? And you know, usually I'm hard on Shannon Sharpe, right? I be wanting to get on Shannon Sharpe because I felt like when the whole debate thing between me and Coach Prime, it was very easy for him to give me my props, my just due, put up the stats, do some type of debate. You know, give me some love, show that, you know, this is a situation, you know, but he chose not to, whatever, you know, it's all good. But hey, that's how it is. You got to choose your side. He chose the side, man. So I'm just having fun with it. But you know what I mean? At the end of the day, I promise you, I do really hope anybody that is going through anything, going through things, you know what I mean? But I really do hope old Unc Shannon Sharpe finds a way to grind his way up out of this and make these lawsuits and allegations disappear. You know what I mean? I really do. And at the end of the day, get the freaking help he needs if that's the case, right? If he needs some help, Unc Shannon Sharpe needs to get some freaking help. Phil in the building. Yes, sir. I see Phil in the building real quick when I was looking in the chat. You know what I mean? But if that's the case, man, get the help you need. Do better. Try to be better. Things like that. I talk my shit, right? I talk my shit. You know what I mean? But I truly hate to see a man's livelihood in jeopardy, right? I truly hate to see a man's livelihood in jeopardy. And at the same time, Shannon Sharpe, man, he should move with more wisdom, you know, make better decisions, being that he's an older individual and been through so many trials and tribulations through his life. You know what I mean? You have to make better decisions the older you get. You know what I mean? But like I said, I hope they bounce back from this because Shannon Sharpe, let me tell you one thing about old Unc Granddaddy Shannon Sharpe. He has that resilience in that media space to grind his way up out of these unfortunate mishaps. You know what I mean? But the momentum that Shannon Sharpe had with his media company empire, Shay Media, you know, that same momentum will be hard to bring back or hard to replace or get back to that, you know, to that full momentum where he had it at $100 million deals, you know, all these sponsorships left and right. And the deals he had on the table, all those deals he had on the table, they had to be in the tens of millions of dollars, being that he was willing to settle for $10 million allegedly with the young lady, you know, from the Boost Mobile to the DraftKings and other sponsorships. These are part of the reasons that we all know that the tour had to get postponed. You know, the thing about it, man, Ocho and Shannon Sharpe, they was about to make a ton. I'm talking about a boatload of money. And I'm talking, you know, tens and millions and millions and millions of dollars. But unfortunately, the event was postponed. And this came up, I think has something to do with Live Nation. If they have a deal with Live Nation, man, that is a big deal, man. That is a big deal, man. So, you know, this is what they're going through. I don't wish bad on anybody. Like I said, I don't wish any jeopardy on anyone's livelihood, how they eat, how they provide, and things like that. But my saying, and when you come to say what needs to be said and say what needs to be said, say what needs to be said, nation out there, we promote this. Never get too high, never get too low. Always stay in between, right in the middle. So you never have to deal with these drastic emotional swings, you know what I mean, in life, when life starts to life and life be lifing. That's one thing about life. Life will hit you in so many different ways. Shannon Sharpe. Now, on this grind, on the way back to the top, to gain all that momentum back that he had going, $100 million deals, DraftKings, Boost Mobile, so on and so forth. Old Unc Shannon Sharpe may have to revisit the people he mistreated in the past because of his superior complex status, to now having to humble himself. You know what I mean? Completely humble himself, because he may need some assistance from these same people. You see how that go? That's why you never get too high. You never get too low. You never act like you're superior around everybody else. To the people that's around you, basically. Never get too high. Never get too low. It's okay to be right in the middle and not feel like you're that king, that God, It's hard to treat people with respect, man. It's not hard. It's not hard to treat people with respect. It truly isn't. It really is hard to disrespect people and treat people without respect. I find it very easy to be polite, treat people with respect, and treat people the way I want to be treated. It's very easy. I've seen so many people become bad people because they feel unstoppable, because they accomplish so much in life and their status. Now they feel like they have to be a certain way and act a certain way, or there's so much above everyone else. And they treat people accordingly. And it's so unfortunate, especially in NFL, man. In the NFL, people make it to their dreams and playing football and making these millions of dollars, and instantly they forget where they come from and become a different person. And that ain't player to me, man. That ain't player. That is not player. Like I say, make sure y'all stick around to the end, man. I have a big announcement. I'm talking about a huge announcement, and it's going down. And I'm going to let y'all know what's going on at the end of this video, this live. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Hey, and one thing you're going to want to do is turn on these notifications, because you're going to want to be alerted when I tell you the news that is about to drop at the end of this live. Wednesday night vibes, baby. Y'all know what I'm on. I drink water. Spring water, to be exact. Spring water is the best for the body. You understand what I'm saying? So that's old Unc Shannon Sharpe. I hope, and I really sincerely feel and hope that he grinds his way up out of this, along with Ocho Cinco. And they continue to make all the money that they was going to make, and he somehow get these allegations and things like that to disappear, settle, whatever you have to do. You understand what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I'm going to still talk my shit, because it is what it is. And it's fun to me, Sky Edition in the chat said, man, I'm obsessed with Shannon Sharpe. No, I'm not obsessed with Shannon Sharpe. Y'all got to understand, I'm a professional shit talker. If I pick you to talk shit against, hey, you got to be ready to ride out, man. Shout out to the chat. Wednesday night vibes, man. Hey, OTAs is underway. And I'm seeing what I'm seeing. If I think I'm seeing what I'm seeing, it's looking real good out there, man. It's some great competition. The young boys, Shedeur Sanders and Dillon Gabriel, they're going at it. That seems like the two main characters. But that's what we're going to get into. We're going to get into a lot of this, what's going on with the Shedeur Sanders chatter. It's a lot of chatter surrounding Shedeur Sanders. You know what I mean? So let's have a serious conversation about Shedeur Sanders, right? A serious conversation. Shedeur Sanders, being that Shedeur Sanders' name brings a lot of attention, right? Sports shows make him a daily topic. He is the daily conversation. And that's cool and all, but are we putting a lot of pressure on Shedeur in his situation and may not realize it, right? Me, myself included, as a whole, the whole football community, are we putting the unnecessary pressure on Shedeur Sanders and we may not realize it. Some of it is good support. You know what I mean? Some of it is good support to make sure he hopefully gets the opportunity he needs with the Browns. And other times, people just biasly speaking, saying anything, basically because Shedeur is in a unique situation, right? It's a very unique situation, starting from the draft. And no, Shedeur shouldn't have went or made it to the 5th round, right? We all know that. Shedeur shouldn't have made it to the 5th round. And this is my opinion. The scouts and everyone else has their own opinion. The chat, the audience, everyone has their own opinion about Shedeur, where he should have went. In my opinion, he shouldn't have went in the 5th round. He shouldn't have made it to the 5th round. And yes, I do think Shedeur Sanders has the most potential on that team, on that roster, at quarterback. But the expectations, man, we all expect to happen for Shedeur, they will happen when it's time for it to happen for Shedeur. Right now, he has a battle ahead of him being a 5th round pick. And he understands that. So he wants to block the noise out and focus. Right? And I told y'all before, being a late round pick, man, it's an uphill battle. There's 5 quarterbacks on the roster to compete with. There's 5 quarterbacks on the roster to compete with. We all know that. And by the time training camp starts, they probably not going to all be there. But Shedeur Sanders is a dog, and that dog will come out when it's time to compete. I can promise you that. So, this is Shedeur Sanders talking to a reporter. Says, I haven't talked to Brady since the draft, Sanders told Sportscasting. I'm mainly just focusing on the team, everybody that's currently around me, and the coaches on the team. I haven't really been on my phone much or talking to many people. I really don't even talk to my family. It's one of those situations where I just have to lock in, stay focused on what's present now. Right? Shedeur Sanders is focused. You hear his mindset and his attitude. You know what I mean? He is focused. He is locked in, straight dialed in at the task at hand. But the sad part about all of this that is going on surrounding Shedeur Sanders is Shedeur can't even buy a car in peace. He can't do anything in peace. Blogs reporting on the type of car he buys, the color, the price. He can't even enjoy his journey as a rookie without people being so critical of him, any and everything he does. And then come to find out, he didn't even purchase the freaking car that the blogs are reporting on. That's ridiculous. He didn't even purchase the car. I don't even think it was his car. His family didn't, Coach Prime, Shedeur didn't want to give an explanation. They just said lies. The man can't do anything without people reporting on it and trying to control the narrative. It's so much unwanted and unnecessary attention because of his popularity, and he brings a lot of views. And like I said, Shedeur is focused. He's ready. He's ready to compete for a roster spot. Eventually, hopefully, he will be the starter. We all hope that. But we don't have to talk about it every day, continue to put the pressure on him. Blogs that don't like him, making up things about him, painting this picture. It's getting a little ridiculous, man. It's getting a little ridiculous. What y'all think, chat? This whole Shedeur Sanders thing, is it getting ridiculous? Is it getting out of hand? Every day you turn on a sports show, they're talking about Shedeur Sanders. Am I right? Am I wrong? Right? I'm talking about him because I want to talk about people talking about him every day, right? And that's why we're talking about him right now on the show. And it's crazy the video I'm going to play, because 99 of his critics and hate coming from people that have a problem with his dad. And Shedeur understands that. That's what's so crazy about that. He understands exactly where 99% of the hate is coming from. And let's check this out.
NFL draft this year on both ESPN and the NFL Network was maddening. I can understand why he's dropping the NFL draft.
All right, Colin Cowherd had a lot to say. He's been very critical of the Sanders family, and this is what I'm talking about. This is the unnecessary, the unwanted attention. Every day I have to say something about Shedeur Sanders to make sure we're hitting the numbers we need to hit because he's so popular. But this is what I'm talking about. Let's get into it.
This year on both ESPN and the NFL Network was maddening. I can understand why he's dropping. What in the world is happening? Dad is happening. That's why I like the tact that Arch Manning and his family's doing. They're staying in the shadows. That's where all the real power is in life. Get out in the sun and get burned. Deion was in the sun. Deion spent too much time on television talking. Doesn't mean Deion's a bad guy. He's a great recruiter. He's done wonderful things for Colorado. He's an all-time great player. But I have said this over and over, and I will repeat it. Dads, stop talking. Nobody cares. Quarterback dad has become pageant mom. Your heart is in the right place. You have good intent. You are hurting your sons. Nico Iamaleava, remember that? Tennessee, he cost his son millions of dollars, and now he's at a second-tier college football program instead of the Tennessee Volunteers. So this is a cautionary tale.
That's what I'm talking about. Exactly what I'm talking about. The unwanted, unnecessary attention. The constant continuance of badgering the rookie quarterback. It's unnecessary. Why? And then why he has to make the comparison with the Archie family, the Manning family, compared to the Deion, the Sanders family. Everybody has a different personality. Just because one person does it one way doesn't mean everybody has to do it the same way they did it. That's why Coach Prime is Coach Prime. You understand what I'm saying? And 99% of his critics come from the people that doesn't like his father. He recognizes that. Colin Cowherd is probably one of those people. Because people are starting to reach. We're really starting to reach. And this is just getting out of hand, man. This is really getting out of hand. And we all understand the draft didn't go as planned. Why do we still have to talk about that? If you have a problem with Shedeur's father, address his father directly without bringing the kid up, right? He can address Shedeur's father directly. He doesn't have to bring the kid into the whole mix. I'm sure dad will straighten that out just like that. Dad will be ready to straighten that out if you direct that attention strictly to dad. You know what I mean? Dad won't have a problem setting you straight. Now think about this as a rookie, as a young man, a rookie quarterback, Shedeur Sanders. Think about your kids. Think about you, depending on your age out there. You just drafted. You trying to make the team. You trying to be a starter. You want to do the best you can do, be the best you can be, whatever, however. Whatever happened in the past is the past. That's how life goes. You live, you learn, you grow, right? Now, you're a rookie quarterback. You just drafted. Every day you turn on TV, you're hearing your not in, some good, but all of it isn't good. But just to hear your name over and over every day, that can get a little hectic. That can get a little uncomfortable. Shedeur can only watch Netflix, Tubi, or whatever else app he has or a subscription he has to avoid hearing the ridiculous comments and hot takes about him. You understand what I'm saying? He has to avoid cable television at all costs so he can focus and dial in. That's not fair to a young rookie quarterback that is dealing with so much adversity already. You know what I mean? And it seems like it's continually being aimed at the young man, and it's just unnecessary. I mean, how long ago has the draft been? About a month? We're a month and some change past the NFL draft. And Colin Cowherd is still speculating on reasons he wasn't drafted. Still taking shots at his dad. And we're a month and some change past the draft. Let Shedeur Sanders live, man. Let the young man live. Let him enjoy his rookie year. Let him enjoy his journey. And let him go out and be the best he can be. And hopefully make everyone happy like we expect him to, you know? But let's lift him up. Let's talk positive about him. Because he is going to win that starting job. You know what I mean? He's going to win that starting job. And all we can do is help and support. And, man, when the negative critics come out like that, man, we should just start thrashing. We should just start thrashing. At the end of the day, we got to start thrashing, man. Because I think that was unnecessary. Y'all let me know about that whole statement from, that whole hot take from Colin Cowherd. Was that necessary? Now, will Shedeur Sanders be the starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns? We don't know. I think so. Will it be the first game of the season? Who knows? But eventually, I think he will become the starter. That's my opinion. That's a lot of people's opinion. I just believe so. But Shedeur doesn't need to hear and see his name in every blog and on television every day. That's just too much, man. It's just too much. I hope he continues to stay focused, block out the noise, and do what he needs to do, man, because young man can play some ball, and I want to see him succeed and change the whole Browns thing around, just like he did at Jackson State and Colorado. Now, he's in Cleveland with the Cleveland Browns in a unique situation. Oh, Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco say, man, I was a couple of years away from playing with your daddy. Now I'm playing with the son, man. Ain't that crazy? Is Flacco going to be 41-year-old? He's probably the oldest 41-year-old quarterback there is right now. That probably ever played in the NFL. Joe Flacco is an old 41-year-old, man. He's an old one, man. So, Shedeur Sanders, man, what do y'all think? Is it too much every day? People continue to talk about Shedeur Sanders, continue to try to monetize his name, continue to do whatever. Just find something to say about him. And, yeah, he's in OTAs right now. They're practicing. He's looking marvelous. He's, throwing some nice balls. Him and Dylan Gabriel, they're battling. And that's what it is. But find some other people to talk about, some other players, some other teams, other coaches, so on and so forth. Let the young man live. And, when it's time to say good things or when it's time to speak about him, that time will come. But right now, it's not that time, man. Let it go. And, yeah, man, that's my little 2 cents that I had to give about Shedeur Sanders. You know what I mean? So, hey, like I said, at the end of this live, I'm going to tell y'all what we have in store for Say What Needs to Be Said. The Say What Needs to Be Said Nation, man, y'all going to be psyched up about this breaking news that we have going on, man. I've been working hard, man, let y'all know. Your boy have been working hard. How y'all doing out there, chat? How y'all doing? What do y'all think about Shedeur Sanders and everything that is going on? Yes, sir. So let's get into this next topic. This next topic is the great brother himself. That's a good brother, man. That Travis Hunter guy is a good brother. If you don't know how to read the room or read energy or judge someone's fruit, man, listen, that guy, he is a good guy. Great heart, good energy, not judgmental. I mean, so many things you can say about Travis Hunter, you know what I mean? And being so young, he has all these capabilities, man. That's awesome. But like I said, we got to give a big shout out, a big congrats to Travis Hunter. Man, he's a man of his word. He's a man of his word. Travis Hunter did exactly what he said he was going to do at the NFL draft, whether we agree or not. He said he was going to marry his longtime girlfriend, and he did that, right? He did that. And we need more men out here that's not scared to go out on a limb and find that woman, the right woman, and get married. I know a lot of y'all against marriage out there, and we're going to get into that. We're going to talk about that. That's why we're talking about Travis Hunter and his marriage, because I want to promote marriage, and I want to see if I can help some of us young men, or some of y'all young men out there, convince y'all that marriage is a good thing. You know, the problem is we have to learn how to identify a good woman first and foremost. And then when you identify a good woman, you have to lock them down. Don't think you can just play games and go mess around with every woman left and right when you have good women around you while you're young and you decide not to lock them down, because it's going to catch up with you. It's catching up with a lot of my friends, a lot of my peers, a lot of teammates, so on and so forth. They had wonderful women in their life when they was in their 20s, but they wasn't ready to be serious. And that causes a lot of problems for a lot of us men out here, because we're in our 30s and 40s, and now we want to settle down and think it's easy to find someone to settle down with. It's totally not that easy. My thing is, when you settle down with someone, my number one thing is, or advice to everyone is, become friends with that person. When you become friends with that person, now you have something that you're always, and grinding into. You understand what I'm saying? That friendship will last longer than a romantic relationship. You know what I mean? But identify that good woman and lock her down, right? It's like half of the men's population disagree with marriage. Everyone I talk about, or everything I see, is men talking about how terrible marriage is, and they are not getting married. And let me tell y'all, there isn't anything wrong about being married, fellas. I'm telling y'all as a married man. But it's important that you find that perfect someone that, you are compatible with and you can grow with. Because if you don't, it can be hell. And then stipulations of getting married. You don't just have to get married and put it all on the line. You can get a prenup. If you want to marry a woman, you're the breadwinner, you're the king, ding-a-ling, or whatever you want to call yourself. And you're asking someone to marry you, and you're asking them to sign this paper because I don't want you to take all of my assets if this thing don't work out, and you're going to tell me, no, you don't want to sign this? And that she's telling you she's not the one for you. Because in the prenup, you can tell them what you want to give them if things doesn't work out. She just doesn't have to take everything and let the courts take advantage of you. You know what I mean? And y'all know how I feel about speaking on another man's wife. We had everybody had their fun. Not we had our fun, because I don't do that stuff. But everybody had their fun, on the internet, going crazy on the young man girlfriend when she was his girlfriend back in the days, trying to expose her, probably detour their relationship, whatever y'all can do to cause problems in people's lives. You know what I mean? But Travis Hunter, like I say, he's a good brother, and he stayed strong. He stayed strong. Now she is his wife. So y'all got to make sure y'all be very respectful and give this situation a chance, because things in the past is the past. People learn, they grow, they see better in life, and this is what Travis Hunter and his new wife is up against. You know what I mean? Yeah, Travis Hunter. Shout out to Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter seems like the guy, man. Let me tell you, let me see. We're going to get serious now. We're going to be a little serious. Travis Hunter seems like the man who fights to be faithful. He seems like he fights to be a faithful man. But you got to understand, players F up. We F up. You know what I mean? Ain't nothing, it's okay to mess up. You just learn and grow. So what I'm saying is, expect Travis Hunter to mess up. Expect the unexpected. That's all I got to say. And this is when you find out if you got a true rider and stuff like that. When you mess up, make a bad decision, is she going to ride out with you, or is she going to try to drag you through the mud? That ain't the ones you want. I like to say, put your girlfriend through a test. Put your thing through a test and see how willing she is to ride through the thick and thin with you when things ain't going so well. You understand what I'm saying? If you meet a woman when you on your high horse in the prime of your life, you're making the most amount of money you in your life that you're ever going to make, that's easy. Now when you're coming down off that high horse, And now she sees a different side of you, not as much money, not as attractive or whatever you want to call it. How does she treat you and view you then? Does she still like you or see you the same? Does she still respect you as the man that you should be respected as? You know, all these things are important. So you got to learn how to evaluate a lot of things when you want to get married, man. But at the end of the day, a woman can make a man's life better, man. Trust me, you know, trust me, you know. But y'all let me know in the chat, why do most men do not believe in marriage? You know, and like I said, I understand the stipulations that come with marriage. Most people say it's a contract and you sign your life away and so on and so forth. But what are your reasons? And why are most men so against marriage? Why? You know? Let's get into some clips. I've pulled up a few clips and we're going to talk about these clips and see what people had to say about their reasons of not wanting to get married and what they thought about being married, the whole marriage situation. And let's see what they had to say, right? Starting off with the first one. God dog, it always mess this stuff up. I'll get it right. So right here, reasons why men do not want to get married. And the first one I brought up, right, says, I never seen a marriage that I thought I like me one of those. Please, I've seen my parents and friends' marriages end in divorce. The friends who are still married are constantly fighting and arguing over petty things. So I think those are the main contributors to my negative outlook. It also that weddings cost so much money. Spending $20,000 on a single day, no thanks. What do y'all think about that comment and this statement right here? $20,000 on a wedding. I think that's pretty average. I think that's obtainable. That's not outrageous. You know, it's a big day. It's a moment you want to remember for your family. You want to take pictures, but you want it to last forever. You don't want to do this and get divorced. Yes, if you get married, spend $20,000, you're getting married in vain. And yes, of course, that's terrible. You want to avoid all these. That's why you have to take the correct steps. Find the right woman, vet that woman correctly, and make sure she's, she's a good woman. But like I say, marriage is a good thing. Marriage can make us better, man. We can grow from marriage. A woman can make things better. Big message coming at the end of this live, man. Make sure y'all stay tuned. Stay with me at the end of this live. Got some breaking news, man. All right. The second one, it says, here we go about marriage again. Why men disagree with being married or marriage and contracts and so on and so forth. It creates a contractual agreement between two parties that either party can withdraw from the contract at any time. However, the less well-off party can have the state order the more well-off party to give a substantial amount of income to them just because they decided to void the contract. If you did not describe this as a marriage, any lawyer would tell you to run. I have no desire to involve the state in my relationship just to hand someone a tool to ruin my life with. That's a good point, but here again, like I said, find the right person. Prenup. Make the prenup fair. If she doesn't want to sign a prenup or agree to some type of terms in a prenup, then you understand that person isn't for you. I don't think it's that difficult, that hard. You understand what I'm saying? Would you sign a prenup if you really love someone and wanted to be with that person and made it fair, if in the prenup? I wouldn't mind. I don't understand. You know what I mean? So why would a woman should mind? We heard this story of Steven Jackson made it all the way to the altar. Or did he make it to the altar and turn around because his fiance wouldn't sign a prenup? And boom, life is thriving. His life is thriving. He doesn't have no headaches. He has a new fiance. He's about to get married. That's a perfect example right there. You understand what I'm saying? All right, here goes the last one. It says, I don't want to get married or have a partner because I'm an introvert and I find peace and solitude. Also, I don't really get lonely, so I don't feel the overwhelming need to find someone. I have nothing against marriage or dating, though. When I get old and weak, I can take the first bus home. That was the one that resonates the most with me right there. That last one, man. Being an introvert, God doesn't really feel lonely that much. If you have all these personality situations you're going through and how you feel, you're introvert, you don't feel lonely, so on and so forth. Yeah, marriage might not be for you. A long-term, serious, romantic relationship might not be even for you. You know what I mean? You're an introvert. You know, you find entertainment in other things. You find love. You find happiness in other ways. I guess loneliness. you know. So, But what do y'all think? Let me see if anybody has anything to say about being married out there. Shout out to Marlon in the chat. Marlon always coming through. Bruce Lee, what they do? Let me see if Marlon got something about marriage. Yeah, man, let's see if you can get married in court for $120. That's real, boy. Hey, you don't have to spend money on a wedding, especially if you're not that financial well off. That's another reason. You don't really have to have a big wedding. It just depends on the circumstances, the relationships, the marriage, who it is, and so on and so forth, right? But if we both making $50,000-$60,000 a year, a total of $100,000, we're probably going to go down to the courthouse. I'll probably have one at the recreational center and some home cooked food, something real quick, just a reception. It's very simple. So don't always look at you have to spend money on a wedding to get married. Good, good comment right there, Marlon. Good shout out. Say marriage is good when a man. Let me see. We got SJM. Marriage is good when a man is on top of his game, socially, spiritually, physically, mentally, and emotionally. Say it with your chest. Say it with your chest. Chest. SJM. Ooh, these tongue twisters be getting me. My mouth be getting a little dry too. Say it with your chest, SJM. SJM. Ooh, JJM. Yeah, man. On top of your game, spiritually, physically, mentally, and emotionally. You said it right there, man. You said enough, man. Yes, and the last thing, man, when you hit on top of your game in all those right ways right there, it's important to be that right leader. It's important, man. I can't stress enough about us, man. We have to be better leaders, and we have to raise better leaders, man. The people that are the kids and the youth, the young men that are coming up behind us, we're not teaching them right. We're not reaching out and touching one. We got to reach out and touch these young men and teach them a different way of life besides all the things they learn on social media, TikTok, Twitter, so on and so forth. Because, this social media stuff is taking over people's lives and their thought process and how they're supposed to move in life. And it's not supposed to move like that. You understand what I'm saying? So, yes, that was a good point. SJM. Let me slow it down. Yes, sir. My brother. Preach, married life. Yeah, Rick the Vegan Barber. He probably been married, about 5-6 years. And he wasn't married before that, but he was in a long-term relationship and never got married because, then things didn't work out. He probably understood. And then he found that one that made him so, so happy, fulfilled all his needs. He vetted it out properly. I mean, the combination is wonderful. And life gets better, baby. That's how it goes. That's how it goes, So we got to promote marriage on the Say What Needs to Be Said channel, Say What Needs to Be Said nation. We got to promote marriage outside of the household. We want more people married. It's a good thing. Just got to find the right one. You understand what I'm saying? Yes, marriage. And let's talk about Jaylen Ramsey real quick before we end this live tonight. Jaylen Ramsey, he's on the trading block. Jaylen Ramsey has played for so many teams, and I think he's going on his 10th year. How many teams Jaylen Ramsey played for so far in his career? Jacksonville Jaguars, the LA Rams, the Miami Dolphins. Is there only 3 teams? Let me know if I'm missing anything down in the chat. Only 3 teams. I got the Miami Dolphins, the Jacksonville Jaguars, who he was drafted by, and the Los Angeles Chargers. Was it a team in between there? Where would Jaylen Ramsey land and where would be the best fit for him? Like I said before, y'all heard me say in the past, man, I really believe if he could find a way through the cap number and the salary, the $20 million salary, to land and play for the Eagles and play free safety with Dick Fangio, I think that's his name, the defensive coordinator, who he didn't have too many good things to say about when he was at the Dolphins, and they had to release Xavier Howard and is that his name, Xavier Howard, the cornerback. So you're burning your bridges, and this man, he's over there in Eagles Nation with a great defense. That defense is one of the stellar defenses in the NFL, and that would be a great place to go out there and play safety, man, and swarm the field. And he'd be a great asset as safety, man. I really think his production will double at free safety. I'm talking about interceptions, pass breakups, big hits, so on and so forth. He would be more of a game changer at free safety than cornerback, in my opinion. Because at cornerback, like you say, you got to wait for the ball to come your way. Free safety, you could be sent on blitzes. You could just be back in the deep half of the field, just swarming the field and playing with using your instincts to make plays. And I think that's where Jaylen Ramsey will fit at best, being that he's a bigger guy, faster guy, all those good things. The Dallas Cowboys, I don't know if that would be a good fit. I think that would be just for show, a lot of talk, a lot of hype, but nothing will manifest from that situation, him going to the Cowboys. His star power will go up for sure. You know, anybody that goes to the Dallas Cowboys, your star power automatically doubles and triples and things like that. But it's just unfortunate he can't land on a team and be there permanently and everything else work out. But I got the Ravens to be a good fit. That's a legitimate possibility. The LA Rams are talking about bringing him back. How much would he do what would he do and what would he provide for the LA Rams? I'm not really sure. We'll see. But he has a hefty price tag, $20 million. Whoever going to pay that $20 million, God bless them. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm sure Miami Dolphins feel the same way. Anybody out there that's willing to pay that $20 million price tag, he's like, hey, come get him. We'll gladly send him over there to you. So the Ramsey sweepstakes continues, and we'll see where Ramsey ends up. But the breaking news we all been waiting for. All right, man. Y'all excited? Anybody guess? Give me 30. I'm gonna give y'all 30 seconds. The only person can't guess is Rick the Vegan Barber. The breaking news we all been waiting for. I'm gonna give y'all some time, man. We got some time, a few seconds before I can tell y'all, man, because this is exciting. And it's going down Friday. Keep giving y'all hints, time, and more time comes. Anything else we need to talk about before we sign off tonight? No, my son ain't signed yet. I talked about my son's situation in the previous live, probably a couple weeks ago. He's going through a situation. It was been announced that he had, for a long time when he went down the fourth game of the season, it was announced that it was a shoulder injury, but that wasn't all the way the truth. It ended up being a neck injury where he had to have surgery and a procedure done. He had a successful procedure, and he passed in a couple physicals. He has one more to pass coming up. Is it next month or the month after that? And then if all is well, God's blessing, Lord's blessing, he'll be ready to sign and be ready to play. So it's a tricky situation. You know, keep your prayers up for my son, AJ. Hopefully he gets what he need, and God's will be done. At the end of the day, that's what will be done. God's will. You know? I don't want to say your name wrong. He said he got a sponsor. Something like that. I got a sponsor. Something like that. Shout out. Hey, my day ones, baby. Y'all speaking into existence. We're going to have these sponsors rolling around. We're going to have co-hosts. We're going to have all type of things going on. But I'm going to give y'all one last hint before I mention what's about to happen. We got a big special guest coming on the show. Yes, that's right. We have I'm talking about a guest that you guys could not believe or you won't believe. And I'm gonna give y'all a little hint. I want y'all to take a guess. You could guess as far as Donald Trump to Oprah Winfrey. Tay Jones in the building, my dog. This Pac-Man brother, Pac Dog brother. He cheating. I can't. He got the answer, y'all. He cheating. He done cheated because he know Pac Dog. He got an inside source. He got an inside source. He got an inside source. Tay done guessed it right, man. Coach Prime is coming to bless the show. Can y'all believe it? And let me tell you, man, Coach Prime, man, that brother there, man, he has so much wisdom. He's a good brother. Man, the conversations we done had on the phone. Yeah, we had a conversation. Yes, sir, man. I'm sure I done DM'd him 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years ago, plenty of times trying to reach out to him. And God's timing is always right, man. So Coach Prime reached out to me, and we're going to get into it when we get into our show on Friday. We're going to have some fun. Y'all know Coach Prime know how to have some fun and entertain. So Coach Prime coming on the show Friday. I'm waiting for confirmation from the assistant, but it's supposed to be 5 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Central Time. Coach Prime and Asante Samuel. We're going to have some fun. GOAT versus the baby GOAT. And, man, y'all got to think about some questions. Anything y'all want to know, anything y'all need me to say. We ain't getting out of line, disrespectful, none of that stuff. We're going to have the utmost respect. Anybody come on this show, I give them their flowers. So that's how it's going to be. And we're going to have some fun. We're going to talk about some T-stepping. We're going to talk about, man-to-man coverage, off coverage. Who is your best matchup? What do you think about today's cornerbacks and all type of stuff? We're going to have some fun. Y'all know how I get, baby. I'm getting excited right now thinking about it and telling y'all what's about to happen. So make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Make sure y'all share the chat. Share the live. And y'all let everybody know, man. Y'all will see the promotions and everything go out when it's official. Like I said, I'm waiting for one last confirmation from Coach Prime assistant. Man, Coach Prime is coming to bless the show. And let me tell you, Coach Prime didn't just say he was just coming to just bless the show. Coach Prime said he will come on periodically throughout the season, good or bad. He want to stand up in the paint. He want me to give him the hard questions. He said he want to see me win. That's what he said, man. Coach Prime is a good brother. Coach Prime said, man, I want to see you win, Sante, man. I want to see you win. I want to come on your show. I want to help you thrive, brother, man. Hey, that means a lot to me, man. That means a lot to me. So we doing what we do over here. Say what needs to be said. Shout out to my all day ones in the chat. Man, we're going to have some fun. Wow. He says, wow. Hey, yeah, man, for real, man. That's going to be fun. I can't believe it either, man. I can't believe, See, a lot of things, people think I just be talking shit and beefing with people. I don't have no beef with nobody. And, Coach Prime recognizes that, and he's just like, man, let me come on there and have some fun with you, man. Coach Prime like to have fun. One thing about Coach Prime, he love to entertain. He been doing it since day one. So, y'all get ready. It's going to be explosive. It's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. We're going to try to break the internet. And, yeah, man, I make sure I have my T's crossed and my I's dotted. My I's dotted and my T's crossed. And I got to have my X's straight, too. You know what I mean? So, I don't know, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Y'all let me know what y'all want me to say. Y'all let me know what y'all want to hear. We're going to talk about Colorado football. I'm going to ask him about Warren Sapp, too. I'm going to ask him about Warren Sapp, that dog, how he been over there at Colorado and what he did for the D-line and stuff like that, man. So I'm excited, man, thinking about it, man. And, yeah, man. So to recap from the night's live show, man, I hope Shannon Sharpe, man, I hope him and Ocho Cinco, I hope they find a way to bounce back. Like I said, Shannon Sharpe has been in the media game for so long. He has that resilience. He has that grind. You see how hard Shannon Sharpe works? It only take about a year. It only take about 6-8 months to make everything disappear. When he get everything to disappear, that grind, They're going to grind. He's going to grind. That resilience that Shannon Sharpe has. And he has a great partner in Chad Ochocinco. So they're going to be grinding together. And we're going to, you know, I might turn a little bit and not be so negative on Shannon Sharpe. I might start just doing positive things, but I don't know. We'll see how it goes. If Coach Prime come on Friday, we come on and we get this all scheduled with, man, I might back off a little bit on some of these people, you know? Because they ain't had no business jumping to the forefront to try to say something, and you don't even know nothing about no darn cornerback. And I'm going to let y'all know we all going to have some inside scoop. We can give y'all some inside scoop, some elite details about the position of corner. From when he played and when I played, what he had to do and what I had to do. How I looked at the game, how he looked at the game. You understand? Ooh, that jump sound great, don't it, boy? You know what I mean? So, hey, say what needs to be said, man. We're going to have some fun, man. Yes, it's going to be the baby goat versus the goat. The goat versus the goat. I ain't never did the dance one time. I got to go practice because I plan on doing on the show. You know what I mean? So, say what needs to be said. I'll get rid of this. Did I miss anything? That's it, man. Let me sign y'all out, man. Say what needs to be said. Wednesday night vibes. It's your boy Asante, Mr. Pick Six Samuel. Can't wait for Friday. We're gonna have a ball. And everybody lighten up on Shedeur Sanders. Let them live. Let them focus. You know, let them wake up every day, not seeing his name plastered on the screen everywhere, left and right, badgering, belittling, saying things that's outrageous, having a problem with his father, taking it out on the son. Let all these things go. And Travis Hunter, big shout out to Travis Hunter. Like I said, he's a man of his word. Loyal guy, man. This guy rolled out with Coach Prime. He could have went to any university he wanted to, decided to go with Coach Prime to Jackson State. Went to Jackson State, followed Coach Prime to Colorado. And now he married his longtime girlfriend, a loyal, great guy. And he is setting an example for us as of now to show us that we can be married, and hopefully his marriage lasts for a significant amount of time, if not forever. You understand what I'm saying? And that's it. Wednesday night vibes. I'll see y'all Friday. Say what needs to be said. We checking out.